Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Why do you do this up here?
Bullshit, that's my pen. Bring your own pen.
Good, David? Haven't tried.
Yeah, I don't know where I stole it.
You drive just out of the country a little bit, you could hit one.
This and this and
I can't tell you how many, I cannot tell you how many deer I see on that. Every morning, there's a new one on the side of the road.
I'm gonna call the meeting to order. Nate?
Here.
Mike?
Present.
Rick? Here. Sarah?
Here,
Pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I need a motion for consent agenda. So motion to second.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now, public input, this is time and place for items not already on the agenda with a time limit of 3 minutes each. Budget presentation, fire EMA. Brandon?
All right, as I said, Brad Dixon couldn't make it tonight, so I'm gonna go through these numbers with you. The only significant change would be, and it's not all that significant, you'll see in the fire department allocation, that's the wages. Moving that to 16,200. We talked last time. Currently, we have an assistant chief that is looking to not be the assistant chief. I am looking for somebody to take over as fire chief. There's no interest in this, so we had a long meeting with the fire department and kind of went over the ins and outs of it and why people didn't want those positions, and basically it came down to the amount of work that was required for those spots. So the suggestion was to come up with a second assistant that was strictly responsible for training. So that's what that's figured out to be. We'd be adding a $200 a month position for the trainer who does strictly training. That would alleviate some of the duties of the chief, assistant chief, and spread it down through the other officers. But at the end of the day, if you go to the next page, all that's going to equal out with savings in some other places. So 82,350 is the total fire department budget, and then on the back page, capital improvement will be 25,000 again as it was the last couple of years.
So no net increase?
No increase. No.
Okay. Questions? Thoughts it's Linn?
You want to do anything, right?
Okay, let's do it.
That's an easy one too. That's the same as last year. Minor equipment on there. I'm probably gonna have to get some batteries for a couple of sirens. So we'll need to keep that as it is. And then if you go to the last page, I would like to propose to spend 5,000 in capital improvement funds and buy radio for EMA. So that's what that would be for.
Any questions?
no,
And then another comment that came up too, our current sirens are now, I think other than maybe Central City and Walker, I think they're the only sirens in the county that are not run by the Linn County. If you'll notice the Wednesday, you can hear all the different sirens that are going off in Mount Vernon. That's the county siren system. We can upgrade our sirens. It's around $12,000 to upgrade them to their system, and then they would be responsible for sounding them off. I really don't have a feeling, I guess, one way or the other. One thing is we have local control, so that's good and bad. The good is that we can control when they go off. So for instance, if there's a situation out in the western side of the county, they're not blown here if they're not needed. The other thing though, that the downside is, we have
If we miss it.
we have to be here.
Mhm.
And I'm responsible for that, so I'm either doing it or have somebody here, so, I think I'm good for now, but I think it's something we're gonna probably have to look to or think about in the future. It's not like today you gotta decide or never, it's just,
Is that an annual fee or that's just a one-time fee?
no, it'd be a one-time fee, they'd bring the radios, cause it's a different radio system,
Okay.
and a way of triggering it, so they have to bring that up to date. And then after that though, they would maintain them, so we wouldn't have any fees.
Moving forward after that?
So,
Okay.
it'd be an initial cost, then it'd probably save over
But
time.
it would lower our budget. For
Um,
maintenance,
Yeah,
Not
yes.
significant.
Yeah.
but not.
Not significant, but over time it would,
Correct.
for maintenance and everything else, yeah.
So just
So
something,
it'd be an investment.
just something to think about that's maybe on the horizon, but
The radio, who's gonna have that?
I would, right now I'm borrowing one from Cedar Rapids.
Any questions? Southeast Linn?
She couldn't make it tonight, but she has her, same request, the 21,000, and then she's got a letter in there, and that was in the packet, just going over, their costs of everything and what their projects are that they're doing. I don't know if you have any questions in reference to that, but again, that's same asking as last year. John, I know they got rid of the before and after school program and they replaced it with something different, correct?
Well, they have early out programs and they've added other programs too.
Questions? Cemetery?
Cemetery is just a bit of an increase overall. And you'll see mainly, one of the big things is the mowing contract. That increase, you can see, we upped it to 40,000 last year. We're at 17,609, so we're probably on pace to spend that again. And then also the cemetery GIS equipment, that was purchased, so that's why that line item's down. But then there's an annual maintenance fee that we have to pay for that system to be able to host it and control it.
Is that GSI system up and running now?
So, they're going through all matching everything. They're about 88%.
Okay.
Marcia needs to make one more pass through to check a few, but I wanted to try to get that a little bit higher, so once we went out there, there would only be one or two that may be off and not 25 or 30.
I'd like to, once we get that up and running, somehow like put it on our water bills or something about how it works and everything. I mean, that's something phenomenal that we've done. I don't know if you guys know what it is you can get on your phone GPS and it'll take you right, you can type in the name and it'll take you right to the grave. So, there's not a lot of towns that'll have that, so.
That'll be a big benefit to anybody trying to deliver stuff.
Yeah, that and anybody coming into town that's out of town. All right, so they went from 51 to 55, correct?
Yes. 53, I think it was. No, 53, 175 to 55.
Any questions? Economic development.
Joe was supposed to be here. Well, I'm not sure where he's at. He had a little report for you.
Let's,
You might show up at 7.
yeah, let's bump him down just in case he does show up.
That's fine.
Community beautification.
So this one here is a little bit less money than previous years. And the main reason for that is for tree maintenance. We bumped that down $10,000. We pretty much have all the ash trees down, the derecho and the water main trees, so all those three things together has pretty much depleted every tree we have that was in Saturday.
Say, are there any other trees
How
out
many
there? that we
trees
could-
do we have to replant?
Replant? Many as we want.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have any?
We do go for grants and we get them, we get anywhere from 20 to 60 a year, so.
I think we took 250 out, and I think we were up to about 150, 170
Yeah.
replanted. So that will go down, about 9,000.
Well, I don't think we ought to slow down on replanting trees. I mean,
Agreed, but we'll get grants to cover.
Yeah, we'll get grants to cover that, and if we're
As
not.
long as the revenue's there.
If you look up here in the revenue part, that's, usually we get that, the state tree grant, that's the 2,500. And then I also have the, down here, I got 3,500 budgeted for trees.
You say state tree, trees forever,
Trees for everyone in the state.
and the state. That could even be even higher.
It could be, yeah.
I mean, I used to get $3,500 worth of trees. But we can increase it if we have to. We can.
Yeah, we can talk about that in a second. Any questions? Please.
I got, in the packet, I put your letter from last year that we talked about, and then the overall asking.
Yeah, Chris and Brandon and I talked about we had that agreement from last year for it was 3% increase again. We're good with that for right now. We are starting contract negotiations in January. Our current annual increase for salaries, I think this year is 3.5 or 3.25, if we look, to be sure. So it's a little bit above, but not enough to move the needle for what we're doing. So we're stuck with what we had last year, and then reevaluate this next session.
How many officers you got?
8 full-time, 1 full-time admin, 3 part-times, and 5 reserves currently.
Is anybody trying to pluck them?
Everybody?
Always.
Yeah, constant. So look, I mean, that's why we went through, if you remember, last year, we went through ahead of time proactively, and worked on a pay increase to kind of stay with the movement on that. Other departments are doing that as well, and so it's just kind of a constant flex right now as we go. It's not as drastic as it was that time, I don't think. We got a little ahead of the curve intentionally, and now moving forward into I can see our contract negotiation salaries. It's hard to say where they'll, you don't have to go above 3%, but I think any cities that are going to be looking at that are probably going to be getting plucked, for sure.
I think Joe just walked in.
Basically.
So they don't have some equipment and
It's all in a flat fee. So basically, the contract is a 2080 flat fee amount. It comes through from that, we don't come back. If we're going to expand our current operation, or we have something that's unique that comes up, we may come back to the cities and ask them this, if there's equipment we may need that's not part of our normal operations. We may bring that back and see if there's a split we want to do with that, to acquire that and implement that, but right now, everything is under the contract. If you remember, year one, I think we were going, when we were looking at the budget numbers, your normal, when police departments were separated, you were operating at around 400,000
Yep.
For your budget at that time, so you're still well below what you were spending at that time. You're getting 24/7, 365 coverage.
Do you give the Mount Vernon Council a more detailed budget, or is the same?
So yes, theirs is line item by line item.
Okay.
It includes the equipment, everything, building, all of that down through there.
Exactly. We're just not seeing.
Wages.
Because we just pay a flat fee.
Yes.
Correct. Thank you.
Anybody else got any questions for Doug? Joe, you're up.
I'm up.
Good job.
Well, I walked in, I put it done.
We're already passed, yeah.
What's that?
We already passed you, we're coming back to you now.
Oh, okay.
Should be nice.
Perfect timing.
I got handouts.
Yeah, no.
Sorry to be late.
We're used to it.
I'm usually right on time. There you go.
Thank you.
Nathan, you want one too? So I put together this thing today, and you've got both of my budgets there. You know, we're two organizations, the CDG and the CCDG. I think I talk about this every year, but we have a dual mission to promote and enhance the business environment in the community and to enhance the quality of life. So to do that, we split up two organizations. The one is a 501c3, and the other one is a 501c6. I don't want to make this too confusing, but basically the quality of life stuff goes through the 501c3. So that's our charitable mission, correct? And then everything else goes through the 501c6. So I pulled some things out. In the second half of this first paper I gave you, it says that things like Halloween Town, Sauerkraut Days, the scholarships, that's $1,000 direct. And then the big cycle grants, I just pulled out the grants that were given to Indulgence and Lisbon Auto and Paint. They both had some work done to their facades this last year. And those were the numbers of the money that came directly from CDG. So that totaled, that second half, $4,018 total. And then on top, those are things that we kind of share. The Community Day at the Ballpark, Easter Egg Dash, things like the annual report and the social media. You can't split it out really. It's whenever we're mentioned, it's the Mount Vernon-Lisbon Community Development Group. We're two communities working as one, right? Signage in Mount Vernon and Lisbon, you see it all listed there. I wanted to remind you all that we're going to offer those big grants again in the spring, so that's more opportunity for Lisbon businesses to get some help. And then this year we did complete a website upgrade for the Mount Vernon, visit MDL.com. It'll show up in next year's financials, but we did put some money into that. And then, of course, earlier this year we administrated the Be Lisbon grant contest through you guys. The grant money came from the city of Lisbon, but it was time and attention and put in by me and a CDG volunteer committee. So there you go. My budgets are both there. Did anybody have any questions?
Any questions from Joe?
We're asking for the same amount that we ask every year, $6,000. Mount Vernon gives more like $65,000, but I have a different relationship with that community. So anyway, but we always only ask for $6,000 from you guys.
The other 5 of that is the Be Lisbon grant. So that's where the 11,000 comes from, so.
Any questions?
I do have a question, and I revisit this every year, and how many of these events are you guys putting on in Mount Vernon?
So we do 14 festivals and events a year. They all go on in Mount Vernon. We work with Drayton on 2 events that we kind of work together on, the Easter egg event.
But what events are you guys putting on over here? I'm asking, how many events does the MLB put on in Mount Vernon?
So there's 14 festivals and events a year that Mount Vernon does in Mount Vernon.
But what did you, what is your guys' contribution to that?
I guess I don't quite understand.
Well,
So
it's under there.
we
It's under
produce the
your budget,
festivals.
I understand, but are you guys putting those on? Are there, do you guys organize the committees? What,
So, yeah, they're all volunteer committees. So I'm
I
the only
understand.
paid person, right?
right,
So
I
I work
understand.
with volunteers, and volunteers from Mount Vernon and Lisbon work on these. Linn is a huge volunteer for us.
What do we have to do here in Lisbon to get more festivals. We need traffic, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if most people are aware that our traffic doesn't come through Lisbon anymore. We have a bypass. Lisbon needs traffic. There are
So,
small
Sarah-
businesses here.
I work with volunteers.
I understand.
If you would like to volunteer for CDG and chair a festival that takes place in Lisbon,
That's
I
what
would be
I'm-
all supportive of that.
That is
And
what
I'd
I'm
be very happy
asking.
to help.
That's what I'm asking is.
I don't put
how-
on the events, I work with volunteers who do the work.
That's what I was asking is
Right.
who puts those on? Are those boards? Are they committees? That's
They're all
what I'm asking.
volunteers.
But you
So I
guys
would-
also financially support those, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, that was my next question.
Some of them are break even and some of them.
Well, it
They all
doesn't,
basically break even.
But they do support our Halloween town.
I understand, but that's for kids.
Well, yeah.
Kids don't bring money to the community.
Well,
It's, adults do. And they're not, I mean, that's the thing, is we need to bring outside money in.
I think
And
some-
and
yeah.
that's where I'm at.
Sauerkraut days,
We give them a check every year.
that's
yeah.
why I thought.
There are a couple of them I listed on there that we give checks to.
No.
Halloween Town, Sauerkraut Days. You know,
But we get a lot out of this, both in cash and.
But there's so many other potential
Well,
that,
yeah.
that we could be doing.
But the facts are, most all the retail businesses are in Mount Vernon, very few are in Lisbon, and even the ones that do, a lot of them don't have regular hours.
More reason to grow Lisbon.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
That's all I have, thank you.
anyone else?
Anybody else, any questions for Joe? Thanks, Joe.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll see you again. Pleasure, dear people.
So Brendan, do we just go right into regular city stuff?
Yeah, unless you guys have club meetings or.
We do have one problem with our early start. We had a member just come in thinking it was still 7 o'clock.
Okay,
And it was,
okay.
that's my fault for not letting you know. So could we hear from her? for a few
Absolutely,
minutes?
And should
absolutely.
I just sit? Oh, okay.
You
Okay.
can do whatever
Well,
you
and-
want.
Okay, great. Yeah, in just a minute of your time. My name's Carol Daly, and I am on the board of the Friends of Lisbon Library. And I'm here to do just two things. One, give you an update and to thank the city for the support that you've given the program. So we are beginning our third year of the program. We started enrolling kids in November of 2021. We have had almost 170 kids in our community, ages 0 birth to 5, to the 5th birthday, enrolled in the program. So we only have about 200 kids in that 0 to 5 age group in the 52253 zip code. So we're really feeling like a lot of success. Over 2,300 books have been mailed out to kids. And we've really, our goal is as many kids enrolled as we can because it helps early literacy. And we hope to partner with the school to find out how maybe our program is impacting kindergarten readiness right here in our community, because kids who have books at home tend to be more ready for school than kids who don't. We've had some great community collaboration. Southeast Linn has been one, the Lisbon Early Childhood Center. We have our enrollment cards all around town and posters up all around town. So we feel like we just wanted to make sure you guys know how successful we've been, and also to thank you for the support that the city's given us. So every child that we enroll, we try to fundraise $125 to take that child through their 5th birthday. So when you start to get, 150 kids, or more enrolled, that's a lot. So that's all that I had to say. Thank you, and I'm sorry I missed the earlier start.
Problem, not a problem.
You're fine, you're fine.
Any
Thank
questions?
you.
Very, very much.
Thank you.
Any questions?
While you have the microphone,
Yeah.
we are in the process of looking for a new librarian, correct?
Yes.
And that goes out to a lot of people.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. We And the librarian attends all of our board meetings, or as many as that person would be available for. But the Friends, as outside of this Dolly Parton Imagination Library, we exist to serve the library and library programs. So we work closely with the librarian and help to fund some things that just are not in the budget. So our fundraising is, we have kind of essentially two program lines for fundraising. One is for all the library programs and the other one is for the Imagination
Well,
Library.
to the people that don't ever go down to the library, I challenge them to go down to the library.
Yeah.
They're gonna be very impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a busy place. It's really a hub in the community, and we love it that we're encouraging
And
the
we're
little
in
ones
need
to
of
come.
a-
Learn about the library early.
Yeah, and we're in need of a new library.
Yes, yes.
So that goes out so you can get more people, but
Yes, yeah, absolutely nice. I appreciate that it's going to be a full-time position now. I think that's going to really help. Grows a lot. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. So Brandon, you want anything else?
Yeah, one question, for the Beautification Fire Department, for that adding that second assistant, is that something you want to take formal action on, or if I can make the budget neutral, our elections start at the beginning of the year?
I think we'd have to probably take actions on it since it's a paid position. And I think we okay all the other ones, you know what I mean?
You want to change the bylaws, do you?
I'll have to bring that up, yep. But I didn't want to go mess with all that, because it's quite the process without.
Right, I think when,
So the next thing would be putting those all together.
yeah, because I think when we do the secretary, treasurer, chief and everything, we'll change it.
I'll have to do the next meeting.
All right. Move on. Discussion of possible action in reference to paying warrants through 12/31/2023.
This is normal practice for not having the second meeting in December due to the holidays.
Make a motion.
Got a motion, got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Discussion of possible action in reference to hiring underground utility specialist.
So we posted the position, we received 2 applicants for that position. So personnel, Travis and I met with both applicants. After the meeting, there was one obvious choice to all of us. That's Keith Woods. He's here tonight. And he's currently a foreman at Brecky Mechanical. And he's actually been the one installing the water lines within the city now. Does a really good job. He's agreed to accept the position at $35.50 an hour, which is within the range that we had the posting for and was approved for. So I just feel that this is a huge asset to the community. It's going to be a really good thing. I think it gives us an opportunity to save a significant amount of money. I just met with Lisa from YTT, and she did the preliminary numbers at the sports complex, and I think there's an opportunity where we can do some of that work in-house and save some money there. And it's a great location to do it because there's nothing out there to worry about running into or hitting or whatever. So anyway, we're happy to answer any questions.
What was the starting wage?
$35.50.
When would you start?
January 1.
That's when we get that big snowstorm.
Sorry, they do.
You know this place by the back of your hands, inside and out, don't you?
a lot this summer.
I'll make a motion to hire Keith.
I second that motion.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, dude. We'll see you January 1st. Probably get a hold of Christina or Brandon and get all the paperwork for insurance and everything and all that stuff. Get that going and everything. Got a good crew you're working with. very good crew. And that's another thing, I mean, he knows everybody's working too.
Exactly.
All right, discussion of possible action in reference to memorandum of agreement with Clean Energy Districts of Iowa.
So we received this, this coalition has been reaching out to all the cities in Iowa, asking councils to show their support against the Linn Energy's plan to increase their rates, planning 13 to 20%. I'm sure you guys got the same letter I received. This over the course of the next 2 to 3 years. I had Christina call around the surrounding towns in the network. The majority of these are approving these MOUs and resolutions as a support of the residents, in hopes that they don't do the full asking that they're requesting. You can choose to do what you want with it. It's there if you choose to pass it. There's an MOU and then there's a resolution.
You guys want to support it?
I do.
As a city?
I think
support that.
I don't think
it
it's
probably
gonna
is.
do a damn bit of good.
Yeah, well, the state's the one that votes on whether or not it goes race.
Yeah.
All right, I need a motion.
I move.
Mike moves to accept it. A motion and a second, all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Resolution 36, 2023, opposing Alliant Energy's rate increase.
This would be just the same thing, just passing the resolution.
Make a motion to pass the
I
resolution.
mean, I don't know if you guys read through that real quick. I mean, last year, Alliant Energy posted 1.72 billion in profits. You know, and they want to raise 13%, 20%. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, how much is enough?
I'll make a motion to oppose the energy rate increase.
Do a motion,
Second.
motion and second, Nate,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Rick, John,
Aye.
Sarah.
I,
Resolution 37, 2023, or 2023, in reference to approving Farm's first addition to Linn County.
We met with P&Z. This is gonna be off Hoosier Road, north of Abbey Hills, across from the old Enoch Farm. They're trying to do their one-time split of that property, so the houses and buildings will all be in one, and then the farm ground will be in a second split. P&Z recommends approval. This is in the 2-mile fringe agreement we have with Linn County, so it's just another one of those.
Motion to approve.
Do a motion to approve.
second,
Motion and second, Sarah.
I,
Or John,
Aye.
Rick, Mike,
Aye.
Nate.
Aye.
Correspondence.
I do not have any tonight.
City engineer report.
Do you have anything from it? Only thing I have, bit of good news to share. We did get the test results back of the second test of the well. Everything is within, the good test. So those 2 consistent good tests. The only one that, was a little bit of a change is the iron went up just slightly, and it's approaching the area where we'd have to treat. However, it's not a huge deal. And then we're also gonna be meeting with Dave to try to get a plan for that. We did reach out to the well company, and they said typically iron goes down, over the years. So, we think they're gonna be all right with that, but, that was a bit of good news. So the plan's probably going to build the building, slightly bigger than we had planned originally, just in preparation if we ever had to get the filtration system and the filters and all that, and pumps, we'd have room for that. Otherwise, in the meantime, it'd just be a little extra storage. So, but they'll have a complete report on that. This is just coming down the pike here in the last couple of days, so. That is all I have on that front.
Questions? Public work.
we're gonna start replacing street signs from the spring storm. Brandon got with us, we got them get prices to get those ordered, so hopefully we can start getting some of these signs put back up that's been down for quite a while.
Do we have a date on that? I mean, when they're coming? Or do they just, we just bid them?
Yeah. They should, when they get here, and we'll start putting them in.
We set for winter,
Yeah.
salt, sands.
Yep.
Questions for Travis?
We just need snow.
Buy a new shovel for him? Bring one.
I don't think he's used a shovel in years. It's always like this. Parks and Rec.
He had to go to a meeting, so, he gave me a little report here. Girls' basketball's wrapping up, they have one more week of games this Saturday, the 16th. Boys' basketball registrations will be finalized on Friday, the 22nd, with practices beginning after Christmas. And then a reminder of the Christmas parade downtown on December 21st at 5 p.m. They'll run 2 blocks of downtown, Walnut to Jackson on Main. Following the parade, Santa and Mrs. Claus will be at City Hall from 5:30 to 7:30. And also Southeast Linn will have a bake sale with a free will donation in the council chambers during that time. So that's December 21st at 5.
Any other questions? Police department.
Other than what's in the report, I sent an email out to everybody, I think, you should all have that. The public side of the construction phase is open, so we've opened up the west side parking lot again and bringing the public back in the correct door instead of trying to find a way around the back side of the building. So that's kind of exciting. It's very dusty in the building because they're still doing demolition on phase 2 portion of our project, but hopefully that'll be done shortly, somewhere around the end of the year. So you want to come through and take a look at we're using the training room and the new restrooms and the interview rooms are still waiting for some camera equipment to get put in, but it's a lot better than it used to be.
Looks real nice out there.
It's going to be good.
I got a question.
Yep.
I was talking to Jeff Saturday night. And what happened in Monticello where the Jones County Sheriff shot that guy, they killed that other guy, you know, at Fairway? Well, he's sitting down in University of Iowa Hospital right now, and they got to guard him 24/7. So if that would happen in Lisbon, Mount Vernon, you would have to, is there any way that there's an insurance that could cover for your wages?
I would have to check with your insurance provider on something like that.
Because it's costing them a fortune a week.
Oh, it can, absolutely. It all depends on whose custody they're in at that point, from that standpoint. But that's definitely some impacts you have on the small town. Absolutely.
That's why you let the DCI take care of it.
Okay. But I mean, that's just, you know, you see these police cars drive around every day, and they're in harm's way every day. I mean, stuff like that happens. You wouldn't expect that in town of Monticello. I mean, but it could happen anywhere.
It's cases like that, you get a pretty big impact on, it's an outside of the budget item, we don't plan for those, and then when something like that happens, it can be a substantial cost for the county to prosecute that. Not even just the custody side of it, but handling the prosecution and bringing in witnesses and everything else can be a substantial cost to the community as well.
I mean, it's just something that we don't think about being in a small community, but that's where this stuff is moving to, it seems like. And it's sad, it really is. Anybody got anything for Doug? Anyone else?
I don't have anything for him tonight.
Fire chief?
The only thing fire department related tonight is, the 550 is in at Lynch. You probably saw that consent agenda, and scheduled to go 1st of March to Feld Fire. They had some back order issues on flatbed, things to make that, so we'll go there in March.
Do you have anything about the pumper tankers?
No, I was gonna talk about that potentially in Lost, or when we get into
Okay.
some of those other budgets, to
Okay.
see what you guys wanna do.
That it?
That's it.
Big guy? anything for fire chief? City administrator?
As I talked about, talked with YTT, hopefully by the 8th of January at that meeting, we'll have a pretty good idea on how we want to proceed with the next phase of the sports complex. With that, the guys shut down 3rd Avenue today and Jefferson. Like we did last year, we blocked it off so people aren't out there spinning donuts and carrying on. As I said, we had a P&Z meeting, just want to let everybody know we still could use one more member to that committee, so if anybody's interested in that. Trees at the cemetery, those tall pines that we approved to take down, I think it was last year, they get completely done today.
I don't know if they got completely done, they were working on it this morning, so.
They should be wrapping up. If they're not done, it'll be wrapped up by the middle of the week. I met with Brett Rickard today. He brought a proposal in. Again, I think it'd be a good idea to look at this for a lost project, but a video sign out in front in the rock area for the city hall. So I have that put together for the lost budget meeting for that. Tomorrow night, we'll be meeting with the library board. We have 5 applications so far for librarians, so that's pretty good. There's at least one local person. And thanks to Marcia, she's got City Hall decorated and all ready to go for Christmas, so that's all I have tonight.
Anything for Brandon?
I only had one question. On the sign, the city sign here, have we evaluated the damage potential on the ground or up, or is that something to look into or not?
If it gets hit by a car
Or a foot or you know?
So it's gonna be, it's like a video board, so it's got these like video pixels, and it's probably gonna be about 3 feet off the ground. It'll be on pillars. I get angry.
Maybe a steel
Well,
frame.
an old man can't lift his foot and do it, but
Well, so-
that's all I was wondering.
Thought
You could fall into
Do
it.
like,
You like vandalism.
could people do something? Absolutely,
If
but
that's the case, we're ready to
We'll
put
put some,
install video cameras
I
out.
imagine there's gonna be some landscaping stuff around it to protect it as much as possible.
That's all. That was my only thought, that we might want to raise it up more because of potential issues.
We should see a proposal drawing
Yeah.
with the lost budget presentation. So we'll see.
Anything else, got anything for Brandon? Council reports. Let's start with Nate.
I don't have much other than to just say this is Sarah's last meeting, and thank you, Sarah, for serving on the council with us.
Yes.
It's been much appreciated, and I look forward to future with Kevin on board. So welcome and thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
Mike?
Nothing, took all the words out of my mouth.
Rick?
Welcome, Kevin. And I just know, so the public will know, because Brandon just touched on the basis of the garbage problem,
What's that?
the garbage.
Yeah, I kind of talked about it the last meeting. You talking the issues that we're having?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll still stand to my reasoning and stuff, but I think that's something that we need to look into doing it ourselves.
That's all I got. John?
Well, just happy holidays to everyone, and this is a good opportunity to think about donations to our many nonprofit organizations that support the area. Thanks to Marcia for the decorations. Welcome to Kevin. I guess that's a welcome, and he may regret it. You never know. And thank you to Sarah. That's all I have.
No, I don't really have much.
Do you have anything to say?
I just, Sarah, I wanna give you I gotta do you first. Go, you go first.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I forgot her.
I don't even know where to begin. So last 4 years, I've been obviously involved in quite a bit of, from the ratio to COVID to the merge of the police departments, the beginning of the sports complex. There's just a lot of things that this city has accomplished, and I am proud to say that I was part of that. So thank you to the community for trusting me. Thank you to my fellow councilmen and women who I have served with. Thank you to Doug. And last of all, thank you to all the employees. You guys are the pillar to this community. You guys make this town run the way it should be. So if it wasn't all for everyone that I just named, I couldn't have sat up here and done the job that I did. So thank you.
First of all, I want to give you a certificate of appreciation for the last 4 years.
Thank you.
I truly appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm praying for it.
Okay.
Is the bill in there?
Yeah. Want to welcome Kevin to our first January meeting. I mean, you get stuck right away doing budgets. It's a fun time of year.
He hugs you too, by the way, at the first meeting.
Thanks for the warning.
So make sure you weren't doing that. And I also want to welcome Tudor to the city of Lisbon's workforce. I think we got a very good workforce going right now, and hopefully we can keep what we got going. I wish everybody happy holidays, and we'll see each other the first year. And that's about it.
No president yet.
I gave you a check.
I didn't get a check.
I know, you're not getting it either. All right.
Yes, and good luck to you, Kevin. You're gonna need it.
Thank you.
There's a lot going on up here, just so you know. And congratulations and welcome aboard. And it's too bad that I won't be able to work with you more, but you'll see me around.
All right.
Possible closed session pursuant to Code of Iowa, Section 21.5(1)(I) to evaluate the professional competency of an individual whose employment, hiring, performance, or discharge is being considered when necessary to prevent needless and irreparable injury to that individual's reputation and that individual's request of a closed session. Mr. Stonking, would you like to go into closed session?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go into, what time
It is 7.
Oh, I'm gonna go to closed session at 7:20 now. Good, Nate, you got 3 minutes to get out of here.
All right.